chickies, 2 females. The car's got females in it, so they might be wanting to pull them and search. Might be one to pull them out and search. Get that propane ready. More backup. We got 6 cops. I don't know, they're done. 6 cops for cameras, baby. 6 cops for cameras. We got 6 cops for cameras. They got scared, man, big time. You too.
Why are you coming after like fucking security officers for
saying just fucking move? What's the purpose? I like get people
you know those news agencies? Oh, they would pay big money for it.
Hell yeah. But this is the first time. That's what I said I was surprised because all the years I've been here, DPD almost never fucking comes.
You can be like, you can't record here, and they can be like, fuck you, and that's
and
it.
then you're just standing there looking stupid.
Right, like, alright, cool.
And I think that's what they thought was gonna happen.
Remember, you got time. He was a big one.
Why are you coming after like fucking security officers for
saying just fucking move? What's the purpose? I like get people
you know.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so the lies continue. Don't you find it a little bit ironic that the group of people that's pointing the finger at Donald Trump claiming he doesn't stop lying, he lied 30 different times during the debate, don't you think it's a little bit ironic that those people don't stop lying? I mean, constant moral outrage about Donald Trump's supposed dishonesty from a group of people that are objectively lying and spreading mistruths all over the internet. You know, just a little freaking rich. Of course, we've been covering all the dishonesty. Well, let's continue doing exactly that. Democrat delusion continues. Let's get into all this dishonesty. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so I'm just going to say this outright. I don't think I've ever seen such a dishonest group of people in my life. Just go on Twitter, but more specifically, go within any left-wing circle on Twitter, and you're going to come across it. You can't miss it. It's everywhere. All kinds of high-profile left-wing accounts celebrating this supposed Biden debate victory. Biden's wins. Breaking. New post-debate polling shows President Biden leading Donald Trump. Let's go. Here's another tweet. Logan Phillips writes, we now have 4 post-debate polls. Here's how the race changed since each pollster's last poll. Supposedly out of 3 of the 4 polls, Joe Biden made significant gains. Oh, wow, amazing. Biden voters rejoice. Except, well, no. Calm your horses there, leftoids. These 2 tweets are what we call blatant lies. You can't make this stuff up. I guess Democrats have decided after all their tactics failed that the new tactic is to just straight up lie. You know, just invent numbers, pull them out of your rear, post them on your Twitter timeline. Joe Biden's up in all the polls, apparently. That's very interesting because I was just about to record a video showing the exact opposite effect. This individual, Logan Phillips, he's right. There are 4 post-debate polls, at least national polls, but the numbers are a little bit different. Let's start off with the Morning Consult poll. Mr. Phillips is in fact correct. Joe Biden gained a point, but this isn't exactly big news, considering Morning Consult polls have been showing a back and forth of around a 1-point shift for the past 3 or 4 months. All of this within the margin of error, and of course, these numbers aren't exactly something to write home about if you're a Democrat. If Joe Biden is only up by 1 nationally, he loses the Electoral College. Hello, Earth to leftoids. But wow, what a monumental shift. Now let's go to the second poll. We got Ledger showing Trump ahead by 7 points. And that's, by the way, a gain of 7 points from the previous poll. Not exactly the good news that Harry Sisson and his friends on Twitter and TikTok are celebrating. Then, of course, we move on to Survey USA, where supposedly Joe Biden gained 3 percentage points. But of course, this again is what we call a blatant lie. Joe Biden didn't gain 3 points since the last Survey USA poll. Honestly, I find this part very confusing. The last poll that Survey USA released was on September 30th, 2023, where back then the numbers were showing a direct tie at 43-43 for each candidate. In other words, Joe Biden didn't gain 3 points. He gained 0 and Trump gained 2 points. Some people are making the argument that there was another Survey USA poll back in January, but this was a sponsored poll which only surveyed 1,000 likely voters. It's not the regular, more widespread survey that they usually conduct. So really, I think including this poll in the analysis doesn't really make much sense. Not exactly relevant, and I might as well mention that in every single one of those surveys, Trump is up by huge freaking margins. All the different numbers here are showing different hypothetical race setups, some with Nikki Haley as a third-party candidate. But anyways, not relevant information. What's relevant is that this is yet again another lie. Trump is up in the latest Survey USA poll, and then Data for Progress, supposedly it's a D3 result with Joe Biden gaining 2 points. Again, another blatant lie. This is from dataforprogress.org. In post-debate poll, voters think Biden is too old to be president, yet alternative candidates perform similarly against Trump. We scroll all the way down here and take a look at the matchups and the numbers, and Trump is up big. And of course, Donald Trump gained even in the DFP poll. For those who don't know, Data for Progress is a Democrat polling firm. They're showing the race moving towards Trump, and they even went as far to survey pretty much every single hypothetical matchup here. And guess what? Surprise to absolutely no one, Trump wins handedly in every single scenario. The betting market's looking like this. The graph in general is obviously splitting. It's obvious that Trump is benefiting here. He's shooting up in the polls everywhere, but Democrats once again are telling you not to believe your lying eyes. Turn on CNN and Univision and see what the focus groups are saying. So incredibly dumb. The Palmer Report writes, since Biden's supposedly disastrous debate, he's massively out-fundraised Trump, and half of CNN's focus group members said that Biden won the debate, and most of Univision's undecided focus group members shifted to Biden. Okay. I keep seeing leftoids posting the same clips over and over again.
I thought Trump was unhinged for 90 straight minutes.
Can I ask you who you thought won, Biden or Trump? Biden, show of hands, if you think he won the debate. Who thinks that Trump won that debate? who's undecided.
Care about where our country is going to be rather than who delivered the most stellar debate on stage. And I care about who tells the truth, who's going to keep me safe, who's actually going to do things for the country. I don't feel like that's Trump.
They keep posting the same Univision clip, making the argument that all of undecided voters and all the voters in all these focus groups are shifting over to Biden. But who really believes that? Especially when they're engaging in such dishonest tactics. Like this leftoid who posted the clip that you saw earlier. Leftists are claiming that CNN was on the street interviewing voters and they were all moving towards Biden's side. But it's all a deception. That one clip that they played with that one voter was only one of the 5 people that they interviewed.
I was concerned, very, very concerned about Biden's real ability to carry this nation forward, just from a physical perspective.
Do you feel the same way?
Yes.
I thought that Trump, in this debate, and overall, I think he's more reasonable and more cogent and more, thoughtful than what he was 4 years ago. I'm undecided, but I'm thinking about it.
I thought he sounded unsure, rather confused, and not well prepared. I'm sorry to say.
I think that Biden, looked sad. Trump was Trump.
We are talking full-on deception. This coming from the very same people who are going out of their way to try to fact-check the debate and making claims that Donald Trump's lying. Remember the first account that we covered, Biden's Wins? Yeah, that account keeps going on and on about Donald Trump's lies. The Lincoln Project just released this devastating ad highlighting all the times that Donald Trump proved he was nothing more than a liar. Lie, 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 lie. Scroll a little bit down on the timeline, and you'll see all these real-time fact checks happening throughout the debate on the night of. The people fact-checking, of course, once again, are the same people pushing the most egregious, indefensible lies. They're actually trying to spin this thing to convince people that Joe Biden...
Trump did. 67% of debate watchers in our poll say Donald Trump won the debate tonight, and Joe Biden, 33% say he won the debate tonight.
The biggest liars in the game, they straight up just invent shit and then post it on Twitter, and then try to pretend as if they're all virtuous truth tellers. Keep coping, leftoids. We can see right through your little smoke and mirrors game. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, I got a couple nicknames, a couple titles that I go by. Some of them I'm proud of, some of them not so much. But one title I'm very proud of is the title of Bringer of Bad News for Leftoids. I'm that guy, that's what I do here, people. If you're a communist, well, I might just ruin your day. Sorry, not sorry. It just is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, Well, folks, today we're putting that title to use. Let's be the bearer of bad Democrat Party news. It seems as though your little last-ditch effort, your little panic plan B here isn't exactly going to work out. I'm seeing literal thousands of Democrats across Twitter calling to replace Joe Biden. He must be replaced. He's going to lose to Trump. Everybody's talking about replacing Joe ahead of the convention, but it really is just that. It's all talk. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, to replace or not to replace? That seems to be the question. What are the Democrats gonna do? I absolutely think that the Democrat Party should replace Joe Biden, but the replacement should have probably been announced 12 months ago. And so now the question is, are Democrats gonna swap candidates right ahead of Election Day? Well, I just can't see that happening, and it seems as though some of the top Democrat supporters and donors, well, they've made the decision. They're sticking by Joe. Democrat mega donor Reid Hoffman, that's LinkedIn's co-founder Reid Hoffman, is one of those Democrats. He had the highest of hopes for Biden. In fact, this was what he was saying before the debate.
I've had a 2-hour lunch with Biden. Like, it's very popular to say, well, he's not cognitively with it. In a 2-hour conversation, he was asking me questions about AI. He was explaining stuff that was going on in nuanced detail in Israel. He was kind of saying, look, this is what I care about, your average worker, and this is what we need to be doing, and how can you, technology industry, be helping the average worker? Look, it was a 2-hour robust conversation. He's good.
This guy had the highest hopes for Joe and obviously was let down. But despite that, he's doubling down in his support for Joe Biden. Here's an email from Reid Hoffman. Biden, the debate and the election. Friends for truth, decency, and the American way. I got a lot of emails in the last 24 hours asking whether there should be a public campaign to pressure President Biden to step aside after his very bad
pay a
debate
fucking
performance
attention,
last night. It certainly delivered a blow to the mood among donors and organizers. Unfortunately, people see Joe's age, expressed through slower motion and speech, more than Donald's age, expressed through dementia. Okay. And the debate exacerbated these concerns about Joe, enough that people saw these more than Trump's many lies. I think such a campaign to get Biden to step down would be a bad decision. To step aside is up to him and his family, period. If anything, a public effort might compel the Bidens to try to prove the doubters wrong. Joe is a resolute fighter after all. Alright, well, you pretty much get it. Blah, 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 Trump MAGA threat to democracy, blah, 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 34 felonies, blah, 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 TLDR, a bunch of left-wing nonsense and Democrat lies, all to say that Joe Biden stays on. Look, guys, I know we spend a whole lot of time going on about Democrat insanity, the idiocy and insanity of the left, but they're not that stupid, especially not the leadership. They know there's no other choice. It's Joe Biden or bust. A lot of people are predicting that this whole thing was planned. They sent Biden out there to make a fool of himself so they could replace him with Gavin Newsom.
How are Democrats allowing Joe Biden to do a debate? Have you been paying attention? The guy is a vegetable. He's gone. He belongs in a nursing home. He can barely finish a sentence. The Democrats had to know that. Why would you agree to a debate with Biden at this stage, the earliest debate of all time, when you know he's gone, when you know he can't speak, when you know he's a vegetable? Because they want to, because they know he is not going to be the nominee. I said this 10 months ago, 11 months ago, when Gavin Newsom, and go look who's trending, Gavin Newsom. It's so obvious. Why, as a governor, are you taking a tour of the world? For what purpose? Because he knew, and the Democrats have known, Joe Biden is gone. He's gone, and they need somebody else.
You know, it sounds fun. Of course, it's very fun to engage in this sort of speculation, but it just doesn't make sense. And actually, MSNBC did a little bit of a rundown.
In The Economist YouGov poll, same poll, Joe Biden was sitting at 39%. She's at 37%. So if you're looking to the vice president, you have to ask yourself, does that actually put you, if you're a Democrat, in a better position politically? And then the question would become, if you say it doesn't, would Kamala Harris also agree to step aside and let a brand new ticket come in? Or is that something she would fight? Would you have complications there? But if you got to that next level and it's not Kamala Harris, then the issue is stature. Who of any stature could you put in who Democrats would agree on and be consensus immediately, and maybe who the country knows? And there's not much polling on some of the names that you hear. This was conducted by Ipsos for an interest group earlier this year. And there's a lot of names I would like to test, but these are the three that they did test in this poll, just to give you a sense of it. Pete Buttigieg, favorable 30, unfavorable 28. That's still a lot who don't know him. Gavin Newsom, look at that. Almost half the country doesn't have an opinion million of them, but those that do, it's already double digits negative. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, the vast majority, no opinion of her, 17 among those who do. And again, there's other names out there you're already probably hearing, like Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, Amy Klobuchar, senator from Minnesota. But this is a sense of the numbers when you get beyond Biden and Harris.
Yeah, later. I'll be on the main channel at work
you get
today.
A lot of people, it's a question mark. Michelle
Can't go
Obama,
more than 2 days
the
without
last
it.
time we polled her on this question of favorable, unfavorable, now it's been a few years, but it was 57, we're trying to write this down, it was 57% favorable and just 25% unfavorable. So that's the kind of profile just in terms of, widely known, and look at that, much more popular, more than twice as popular as unpopular there in the poll. That's the kind of profile the Democrats would probably want in this situation. But beyond Michelle Obama, not sure where you could find that, Chris.
It simply doesn't make any sense for a multitude of reasons. The timing just doesn't make sense. Who's going to want to vote for a party in disarray, a dysfunctional political organization that legitimately propped up a dementia patient as their president, then of course lied to you about it for 4 years, only to then pull the rug right from under you? I just don't see it happening. I cannot see a scenario where a last-second switcheroo here ends positively. Too much confusion, party chaos, and dysfunction. Not exactly the type of stuff that builds confidence, huh? But unfortunately, the leftoids, that isn't even their biggest problem. The biggest roadblock that they're running into in their quest to replace Joe Biden is the lack of alternatives. If Joe Biden was to drop out of the race, that would leave the Democrat Party scrambling to find a viable alternative candidate. Well, what options do they have? According to MSNBC's analysis, no one other than maybe Michelle Obama if she signals that she wants to run, but I don't even think Michelle Obama would be able to get the job done. With what, maybe 4.5, 5 months left ahead of Election Day? It's just not realistic. The only actual option that Democrats have, funnily enough, is what Cenk Uygur is advocating for.
If the Democrats don't replace him, the country will be forced to look at RFK Jr. And I'm forced into that. Because this guy isn't going to win. Biden is definitely not going to win. It's not even close.
Replacing Joe Biden with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he's actually suggested that he's up for it.
Nobody's got better Democratic bona fides than you do, and they just pushed you out because of how toxic the party system has become. But now the guy they pushed you out for is in free fall. So, I'm just throwing it out there because it would really solve their problems and yours at the same time.
Yeah, I cannot predict what they're going to do. I mean,
Would you be open to talking to them? If they reached out to you, Bobby, would you be talking to them?
Of course I would. Of course I would talk to them. It would put me on the ballot with nobody trying to get me off.
That is literally their only option. And I have to tell you, that's probably the scariest option. We're talking about a left-winged, independent, and even libertarian coalition. If the DNC was actually to rally behind RFK Jr., I promise you that would be very scary for the Trump campaign. But again, it just doesn't seem likely. The DNC hates Robert F. Kennedy Jr., for Pete's sakes. It seems as though Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s own Democrat family frickin' hates him.
I do worry that Bobby just taking some percentage of votes from Biden could shift the election and lead to Trump's election.
He's trading in on Camelot, celebrity, conspiracy theories, and conflict for personal gain and fame.
There's simply no way, because if the DNC was to pick RFK Jr., well, they would be electing him as their actual leader, meaning he'd be their new executive, setting the tone and the party's priorities. There is simply no way the deep state Democrat handlers relinquish their power like that. They would much rather have Joe Biden as a puppet, or maybe even a second Donald Trump term, giving them 4 years to rally and continue to fearmonger. I'd say they'd much rather that than ever pick RFK Jr., and so I really think this were replacing Joe Biden thing, well, it's just extremely unlikely. Although crazier things have happened. Will it be Gavin Newsom? Or will it be Michelle Obama? Will it be RFK Jr.? Or will it be just Joe? I guess we'll have to stay tuned to find out. That's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hi, thank you for just calling. Go with auto order.
I have a mobile order for Norm.
Who?
Norman.
Norm?
Yes.
I'll have the second one.
Thank you. Get over.
Here's open.
Could you put me on at 2511 Consolas, follow us?
25 11 control.
So it's fucking breakfast time and they're just not figuring out they need coffee. Thank you.
Thank you.
You need coffee in there? Later.